In this program, some of the names have been changed. In Chesapeake, Virginia, on July 6, 2000, Raquel Foley came to the home of her neighbors, Martin and Melissa O'Connell. One of Melissa's co-workers had called Raquel and asked her to check on Melissa, who hadn't come into work that morning and wasn't answering her phone. Still on the line, the co-worker asked Raquel to check a back door. It was unlocked. Melissa's car was in the garage. In the kitchen, it looked like a dinner was prepared, but not eaten.
No. Okay.
Melissa was known for being on time every day and was 8 months into a difficult pregnancy.
All right. No, it's locked.
The bedroom door was locked. Something was wrong.
Melissa!
On the advice of the coworker, Raquel dialed 911 and reported her concerns to Chesapeake Police. Chesapeake officers and EMTs responded immediately. Melissa had developed gestational diabetes during her pregnancy. If she had passed out in the bedroom, she could go into a diabetic coma, endangering herself and the baby. They had to get to her. Unlike the rest of the house, the bedroom was in disarray. Then they discovered a body, face down in the bathtub. The expectant mother was dead. It was too late to save the baby. Melissa had bruises on her body, and there was some blood on the tub. Officers radioed in the suspicious death. About that time, Melissa's husband, Martin O'Connell, pulled up to the house. He said Melissa's co-worker had called, saying something about an ambulance.
I'll go inside with the wife right now.
An officer asked Martin to wait outside until detectives arrived to speak with him. Homicide detective Tom Downing was on duty that morning.
I heard the call coming out on the patrol channel that the investigators were requesting the forensics people to respond, as well as the detectives.
With Downing was his partner, Detective Mike Toothman. It is standard procedure for homicide detectives to respond to any suspicious death.
Hey, Lieutenant, what we got?
An officer briefed them on what they knew so far. A dead body, signs of possible ransacking in the bedroom, an unlocked back door, and the woman's husband just informed of the death.
Martin O'Connell was sitting up against the front of the house, adjacent to the garage door, with his head down. He seemed to be very distraught, and I asked him if he wouldn't mind coming into the vehicle so Detective Toothman and myself can interview him.
Martin told the detectives he had been trying to get in touch with Melissa that morning. He hadn't seen her since the night before.
He had indicated he had no idea what had happened to his wife. During the interview, we were able to clearly observe a number of abrasions, as well as a bandaged finger. When we questioned him about that, he said that he and his wife had had a fight the previous night.
Martin said that the night before, he and Melissa began arguing.
No, what you meant is
At one point, he tried to quiet her by putting his hand up to her mouth.
What are you, crazy?
You know what? Get out!
She was so angry, she bit him on the finger, hard.
Still finding her sex.
He said she kicked him out of the house, so he went driving around nearby Virginia Beach.
She bit me, I put my hand up and
He told Detective Toothman he tried to get back in touch with Melissa.
He had called back to the house on his cell phone and left numerous messages on his digital voice recorder. During that time, he was saying things about being lost in Virginia Beach. Melissa, pick up the phone. I'm sorry we fought.
According to Martin, after several hours, he came back home, hoping he and Melissa could work things out. But in the garage, he found some of his clothes with a note from Melissa telling him not to come back that night. He switched cars and left.
I'm not really sure.
Martin told the detectives that he checked into a local hotel.
I had asked him at this point about the abrasions on his arms and elbows and the hands.
Martin explained that after checking into the hotel, he went to a local bar and had a few drinks.
Okay, and I see that you've got some fresh.
He said
abrasions
outside
here.
the bar, he tripped and fell, cutting his arms. The detectives asked if they could document the injuries. Martin agreed, saying he would do anything to help. The detectives next talked with Raquel Foley, the neighbor who first entered the house, and Cheryl Ramsdell, Melissa's co-worker, to get more information about Melissa.
What we learned about Melissa O'Connell during this investigation was that she was just a nice person. She did everything right. She was a loving, devoted wife. She couldn't wait to be a loving, devoted mother. Everybody that knew her liked her, loved her, and it was just a tragedy that she was taken so early.
The women believed Melissa and Martin had a strong relationship. They also said Melissa was very security conscious, almost paranoid, and always kept the house locked tight.
No physical, okay? All right, thank you very much.
Investigators hoped the crime scene would provide some answers.